Good evening, my friends, and welcome to Bard Stories. Tonight we have a special treat. From 1971, an American sitcom. It was based on a British sitcom titled Till Death Do Us Part. This show starred Carol O'Connor, Gene Stapleton, Sally Struthers, and Rob Reiner, produced by Norman Lear and Bud Yorkin. Winner of 22 Emmys and 8 Golden Globes. In case you haven't figured it out by now, well, how about the opening scene, the song, the theme? One we will all know at an instant.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
Yes, my friends, that show is All in the Family. One of the greatest American television shows ever made. Well, to my younger audience, you're asking, what does the show revolve around? What is it about? Well, it's about a working class man and his family. That man being Archie Bunker, played by Carol O'Connor, and his wife Edith, the most lovable dingbat in history of television, played by Gene Stapleton. His daughter, Gloria, baby girl, played by Sally Struthers, and Meathead, the Pollock, Michael. His son-in-law, played by Rob Reiner. The show itself is set in Astoria, Queens, which is in New York for those not familiar with the name, with most of the show taking place in Archie's home at 704 Hauser Street, with a few episodes here and there, some at the bar that he frequented. This show was groundbreaking in many regards. It took on topics of the day that were considered unsuitable for television, let alone a family dinner or polite society. Issues such as racism, anti-Semitism, infidelity. Yes, my friends, even homosexuality back in 1971 was a topic. Sadly, rape, miscarriage, abortion, breast cancer, even took on religion. And for many of my younger audience, it took on the Vietnam War, a very unpopular war and subject of the time. It set the framework and a very high bar for many shows to come, including the following year and the great MASH. What made this show so great? Well, let me give you a brief background. In the earlier days of TV, your series had multiple episodes, 20 plus, unlike today's 8 to 10. Matter of fact, today's would be called a mini-series. Every week, these shows would come into our living rooms and dining rooms, and we would go into theirs. They were talking about the same things we were, both at home, school, work, family gatherings, church. And Archie represented it in a lot of ways. Well, Archie was very outspoken, narrow-minded, prejudiced against anybody and everybody that was not like him and did not think like him. Sadly, 52 years since this show aired, we still have a lot of that going on. Times really haven't changed. But at least with this show, things started to, and we started to see things a little bit different. One of the greatest episodes in TV history, and certainly one of the most well-known kisses, was when Sammy Davis Jr. came calling. At the end of the episode, Sammy gave Archie a kiss. To this day, that is recorded as the longest laugh and studio applause in live studio television history, showing just how important that was and how important the show was. In a single kiss, we knew everything we ever needed to know right then and there. This show is historically and culturally significant, so much so that Archie and Edith's chairs are on permanent display at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. The show was the first to use VHS tape. It was the first for so many things. And it spun off so many other great shows, such as The Jeffersons, Maude, Good Times. Even Gloria got her own show. Gloria! And Archie Bunker's Place came out of it. Though I must confess, Archie Bunker's Place was just All in the Family, rebranded after the late, great Gene Stapleton departed. 704 Hauser Street, Archie's house, even got its own sitcom with a whole new family. One that if you'll look it up, you'll get a really good laugh out of it now that you know a little bit about Archie. The show made you laugh and it made you cry. And it made you think. Such wonder coming from something so simple as really what we were all talking about. Those emotions that you get when you watch this show are good emotions. They're not disdain for how bad something is. The Writers Guild of America ranked All in the Family the fourth best written TV show ever. Gene Stapleton and Carol O'Connor were on the Donnie and Marie show many years later, and they tried to get Gene to do the Edith voice, and she refused. She stated that the past needs to be left in the past. I agree with Gene. And one of the greatest episodes, the one for me that sums up what a TV show should be about, the emotional impact, was when Edith passed away and Archie found, well, the thumbnail for this video, that pink slipper. I'll leave you with that. Good night, my friends.
You had no right to leave me that way. Without giving me just one more chance to say I love you.